We're going to take a look at the Gretchin squad, which are the small cunning lads from the Orks Codex. So they've got the great ability to farm CP, which is always needed for armies, and they're a cheap option to hold on to objectives so you don't have to waste your expensive boy units sitting on objectives. They've got a really good stratagem for Dread Mob to do mortal wounds, which is very nice. And you can take them in a squad 11 or 22 models, so you get a fair few models in the unit. They've got some great buffs, but it is only from one character that can lead them. But they do lack a saving throw, so it makes them quite squishy, especially when not on cover. Looking at the datasheet, it comes in at 40 points for the 11-man unit or 80 points for the 22-man unit, so you're getting a lot for your money there. The Gretchin comes in at movement 6, toughness 2, 7 save, 1 wound, leadership 8, objective control 2. So the OC is nice. The save though, if you're not on cover, you don't get a save and throw. For the runt herd, that's the orc that's leading them, comes in at movement 6, toughness 5, save 5, 2 wounds, leadership 7, objective control 1. So they can come in a squad of 10 or 20 Gretchin, and you can include 1 or 2 runt herds, but you are paying for the runt herds per 10 Gretchin, so you might as well take them as well. For the range profile, the Gretchin come with the grot blasting as the pistol keyword, so they can shoot when in engagement range. This is a 12-inch range, 1 attack, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, 0 AP and 1 damage. Then the runt herd has a slugger, again with the pistol keyword. This comes in at 12 inches, 1 attack, ballistic skill 5 this time, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. For the melee profile, the grots come with the close combat weapon, and this is 1 attack, weapon skill 5, strength 2, 0 AP, 1 damage, so not very good really. And then the runt herd comes with the grot smacker, as you'd expect them to have being an orc leading Gretchin. And this comes with 3 attacks, a nice weapon skill 3, strength 5, 0 AP and 1 damage. Looking at the abilities, they come with 2, the first being runt herd, so this is not really ability, it's more of a debuff. So while the unit has 1 or more Gretchin in, the runt herd has a toughness characteristic of T2. I don't really know why they put this in as an ability, because leaders essentially gain this anyway. You go by the majority of the models in the unit. So for other armies, if you did have a different toughness for one model, they would take the toughness of the rest of the unit. So putting it in an ability is a little bit strange. Then they have thieving scavengers. So in your command phase, you can roll 1d6 for each objective marker that you control that has 1 or more Gretchin units in control of it. On a roll of a 4+ for 1 or more of the objectives, you gain 1 CP. So no matter how many Gretchin you have on objectives, you only get to gain 1 CP no matter how many 4+s you roll. Looking at the buffs and combos, you can combine them with the one leader that can lead them, being Sodgrog Wartsnagger. When he leads them, they gain the Scout's 9-inch keyword, which is very nice, and they get +1 to the hit and wound roll, as well as being -1 to be wounded, so they become much more durable. They also gain Special Dose, which adds 6 inches to the move characteristic when the models are during the war, so that's very nice. That makes them really quick with him leading them. It makes it easier for them to get on multiple objectives for turn 1, so you can grab CP, as you can use that scout move to make sure that you're on a no man lands objective. So you want as many objectives in control of grots as possible to almost guarantee that CP. So you can use the conniving runt from the Dread Mob for a bit of a turn 1 mortal bomb. So if the war's being called, you get to scout 9 inches. You then get to move your 12 inches. And then you get to place yourself right in front of your opponents. And what's really good here is that when it comes to their turn, if you're in front of multiple units, you then get to use conniving runts, where you do D3+1 mortal wounds on a 4+. And then after that, you get to take a normal move again for that full 6 inches. And because you've got the additional movement, you get the 6 inches on top of that because it's the same battle round. So you've got 12-inch movement after you've thrown those mortal wounds at the opponent. So you get to pretty much put yourself in a position where you might be taking objectives early on. And as well as that, you could be scoring plenty of victory points and secondaries. And if the war has been called, you do get that 5 up invulnerable save as well, making them fairly durable because they are -1 to wounds as well. And if you didn't advance, you will be hitting on 3s as well because you get that +1 to hit and you get +1 to wounds. So you can have a couple of wounds on units as well, especially if you're targeting something that's not too strong, not higher than double your strength. So what extra gubbins do we have here? Well, if you do take them in the Dread Mob, they get the battle line keyword, so you can take 6 units of them. So you could have up to 120 Gretchin on the table, plus the run hurts. They're very important for a lot of the Ork stratagems because they're very good, so you want to be using them as much as possible. And because of this, you need as much CP as possible, so you want to be churning out that CP as many battle rounds as you can. The greater holding objectives, because if you're taking the large unit, you have got 20 wounds on the Gretchin, and then you got 4 wounds on the Runt Herd, so they're actually quite hard to shift, especially if they're in cover because they get a save. And then it's very easy to overkill them because you can sometimes over allocate a lot of shots going into them, expecting them to maybe be around for a little bit longer than you would have thought just for the amount of models, so you can get your opponent to waste attacks. It's a shame that only one leader can join them because he is an epic hero, so you do lose access to all the character enhancements. It would be good if there was just one other leader that could join them and buff them in a different manner. They only gain the one detachment benefit. They only gain the detachment benefit for 2 of the detachments, being Green Tide, where they get to reroll saves of 1 when you have 10 or more Ork models in a unit, or War Horde when the melee weapons gain sustained hits 1, which isn't really applicable for them with their 1 attack at quite a low strength value and no AP. They should really be in every list because you want to be getting that CP every turn, but you do have to expect them to do almost no damage. You are going to be using your boys and your Meganauts and the likes of your Gork and Walkernauts to do a lot of your damage, as well as the other units. These guys are going to score you victory points and get you CP, and that's it. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. If you want to support the channel, consider picking up a membership or pop across to Patreon where I do blogging and post memes, and there's some STLs available there for you to download, mostly small terrain pieces and objective markers. Watch these other videos, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.